If this happens a lot, and you know that you're not listening to your own internal voice, you have to ask yourself, what is it I'm listening to more? Which voice am I listening to? If my own internal self is saying north, 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 and I keep going east, 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 but I know that I want to be listening to my internal voice, I have to ask myself, who is shouting east? Or who has convinced me east? Or who is standing in the east saying, come here, come here, come here, come here? What is that other voice? And only then can we really solve this. What is it I'm listening to that I pay more attention to than my own inner voice? Usually it's the ego, fear, desire, laziness, patterns. So for example, the inner voice says, I need to embark more deeply on a spiritual path. I will get up in the morning and meditate. In the morning, the alarm goes off. The laziness within me says, just another 10 minutes. Hit the snooze button. The fear within me says, you're never going to get anything from meditation anyway. You're not worthy. You're not divine. Kuch hone wali nahi hai usme. Again, I hit the snooze button. All sorts of things. The ego comes in and says, Are kya jaruri hai? You're already perfect. Shastra mein bhi aise likha hua hai. The scriptures tell us that also. You are perfect. Why meditate? Let us sleep. So there's all these other voices that are at play. And if I find that day after day I'm not listening to my inner voice, what am I listening to? Or if I find that in the workplace, for example, that maybe I'm working in a company where profits are all that matters. And even though I'm aware that we're exploiting child labor or women in sweatshops, or that we're harming the air, polluting the air or polluting the soil or the water, and my inner voice is saying this isn't right, but I don't listen. And I don't leave the job, or I don't speak up and try to change how business is done. Then I have to look and say, what else is speaking in me? Is it my fear of being rejected? Fear of being ridiculed? Fear that they won't like me if I speak my truth? Maybe it's my fear of not having a job. Maybe it's my ego. Whatever it may be. But what voice am I listening to other than my own internal one? And the minute that we realize and recognize that, then whenever that voice comes up, we're able to address it by name. Hey, fear of not having any friends. Don't worry. You have a lot of friends. Or even you have one good friend. That's all you need. Or hey, fear of not having any friends. Do I really want friends who are only my friends by me agreeing to be part of something that goes against everything I believe in? Or hey, fear of being ridiculed. I'm not going to fall apart. I don't need your approval as the glue that holds me together. My own truth is what holds me together. And you just start calling it by name, or in the morning when the alarm goes off and Laziness says, just another 10 minutes. I can address it by name. I can say, hey, laziness, you've been running the show a little too long. If you're that tired, get me in bed 15 minutes earlier in the night. Or the fear comes in. I can say, hey, fear of not being good enough. I am going to get enlightened. I am going to discover my true self. Because it's in me. It is me. Every guru, every saint, every sage, every teacher says, I have it in me and I can experience it. Hey, ego, that says I'm already perfect. You're right. On the inner level, I am. That's what I want to get up to meditate, to discover. You can't trick me out of getting out of bed. So figure out what these voices are and then just have a little fun with them. I find that it works really well if we can take ourselves a little bit lightly and just kind of call out all of these different not so functional aspects of us by name. Hey, fear. Hey, anger. Hey, greed. Hey, lust. Hey, not enoughness. Hey, my 5th grade teacher who told me I was stupid and would never be anything. Hey, ego. Call them by name. With a little bit of gentleness. They're not your enemies. But then keep doing what you're going to do. Move them out of the driver's seat of your life. Give them a smile. Acknowledge them. And then lead from that inner voice. And the more you do that, the more that will become your habit. And the less these voices will think that they have the ability to send you in the wrong direction. It's just that we've been listening to their directions for so long that that's become a habit. You know, it's like if you've got a GPS telling you to turn in one direction and you know that's not the right direction. You've driven this road 100 times. But maybe the GPS at that moment lost its data signal. So it's confused. It thinks you were, half a mile back and it's giving you the wrong directions. But how many of us listen to it, even against our own better judgment? And then we laugh later thinking, I knew the way. Why did I listen to this stupid machine? Because we've become so habituated. It says turn right, we turn right. And in the same way, we've become so habituated to the voices of fear, of ego, of desire, of all of that, that we've stopped listening to the inner voice. Just get back in the habit, or get in the habit for the first time. You'll figure it out. It's quite natural. You just have to get in the habit. And slowly, 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 that'll become your habit. That'll become your nature. You'll still have these other voices, but they won't have that power over you. You'll acknowledge them, and then you'll realize that no, you know the way to go.